Hi, I'm going to do a reading on Jacob Elordi today. I've, full disclosure, I've never seen an episode of Euphoria, but my kids watch it. Like, they're older, so I understand that there's like some adult content or whatever. Anyway, so just going to dive into the reading, see what I pick up. I feel like he's going through some kind of struggle at the moment, or he feels kind of like mad or deceived or something like that. I'm just gonna look at that a bit more. Okay, my dog is barking. It feels like similar to how this dog is barking. Seems like someone's like really getting up in his face about something. Come here, honey. What do you want? Here, play with this. So okay, let me go back. Look at that. I mean, probably because he's very famous. Like a lot of people want to like be attached to his energy and stuff. So like he has someone who's like close enough to him in real life that they're able to affect his life or his mood, but they're not like coming from a good place. They're not like embodying the energy of like a good person. Like I think people are capable of turning it around, but like right now they're presenting themselves as like worst case scenario type person. And it seems a bit overwhelming. Like maybe he hasn't really dealt with someone this negative before. And it's always a shock, like especially if you're used to people being super nice to you, helping you. I mean, he must have had some like positive experiences going from like a young. Sorry, my cat is eating. You can hear crunching sounds. I know the microphone on this is really sharp. Okay, now my dog is mad that the cat is eating. Okay, so I'll try to focus. Yeah, so he's had it pretty good up until this point now, and it seems like there's someone who's like, my dog is drinking water. I'm pretty sure you can hear that. Alright, apologize for all the animal noises. Alright. Just looking at their interaction, it really feels like two puzzle pieces. Like one is like nice energy, which is Jacob, and then the not nice energy like right up against it, trying to like fit into his world or like pressure him into something. If no, now my dog's eating. Okay, I hope you guys like some extra ASMR kind of crunch sounds and stuff. I'm gonna try not to hear that. So I feel like the advice for this is like, let's say he's dating someone and they're being very unreasonable, like maximum unreasonable. I would just like not just jump to somebody else, but just like spend 5.5 weeks single. You know, just to do something, like go surfing or just do something else. Do something you like in the water that's like cleansing of your energy. You know how like even if you're not near swimming opportunities, like if you're in some yucky energy, even if you take a shower, it just like you just feel different after, and that's real. It's not just like showers feel good. Like it helps your energy and stuff. It kind of So that would help like sort of wash off this person. I really wish you would stop eating and making that noise. Okay. I need to be on like pets YouTube or something. Alright, so um that's not cool that this person is like really invading his space. It could either be like a kind of a best friend slash entourage, like his close. It really feels like people close to him, like either a romantic partner or like best friends circle. But you know how like sometimes best friends can be like best frenemies and anyway, I think it would be good either way. Even if he was still like rose-colored glasses about his friends, like even if he was just like, I gotta spend a bit of time just like gathering my thoughts, you know. And if he's in California or Australia, like people will like accept that as a reason because they're like into vibey stuff. Whatever. All right, so that's unfortunate that like his happy vibe is being infringed upon. But I think he's pretty good at just staying on his own like good feeling and purpose. But I do feel that like because he's in the industry, like he signed a contract and he's on a show, like he's not just like at home making videos and stuff. Like he has to answer to. Please stop it. What are you gonna? Why does me making videos make you hungry? Anyway, so okay, I wish my ears couldn't hear that. Right. So he has to answer to like bosses or like people who maybe, you know, it could even be like people at the show who he's become friends with, who are like his bosses or, you know, the director or whatever. And they could be like really pushing things too far, you know. And I wonder if there could be some kind of third party sort of like quasi judge, you know how like, you know, like if you disagree with someone in another instance you can take them to court and the judge is like decides what's fair or whatever. So like someone like that, maybe not like, I don't know if it would be like his high powered agent or like if he has an agent now, is there an agent that's like a step above that like directors are afraid of and they listen to, like someone who has the power to say like no, you know, because like the agent is so sure, or like the entertainment lawyer, someone like that who's just like scary powerful and that like directors and producers like listen to them and, you know, because they're right or whatever. So like if someone were to say about if they were representing Jacob and saying like we don't want him to go in that direction for his character, you know, because we're building this career, like we have like a long view, but like we're happy to do such and such, but not this or whatever. So, and I know that my daughter was saying that like the show, like there's some actress on the show that was like not wanting to do as much nudity or something, and then they like really cut her character down, or I don't know, like there seems to be some kind of repercussion for asking for your rights, like your human rights or whatever, in that show. So anyway, it might have to do with that, like where he just feels like, okay, guys, like is this entertainment? Is this like what genre is this TV show? Like anyway, there seems to be some kind of like maybe everything up to now that's been aired is okay, but there might be something in the works that like is not okay or something, like it's just going a bit far or something like that. And at some point it's kind of like, you know, Hollywood gone wild, or like who knows what the director has in mind, like for his own career. Like maybe he likes, maybe people might not know this about him, but he might have like a sort of dark side that he wants to explore, like courtesy of other people, that like isn't what they signed up for, but then contractually they might be like led down this path. So like at some point you have to say no to the madman or whatever. Like you have people as a group, as a community, need to like shut down the psychopath kind of thing. So there might be something like that where I feel like he needs someone, if his agent or his lawyer are not like scary powerful, I would like upgrade those, because like you need like a ref to go like like or drop their red flag or whatever those flags are in sports. You want to come up? You want to come up? You want to go up? Alright. So there's that, the like ugly vibes thing. There seems to be a lot of, he's really under a lot of like either direct or kind of psychic attack or whatever, just in terms of people wanting to manipulate or control his energy, control him, like define him, like things like that. Like it feels kind of like an invisible fence around him, so that's not so great. Let's see what's recommended here for him. I feel like if he writes like a autobiography of like whatever, I wish I knew more about his career to like come up with a clever title, but it's like, whatever from whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Whatever happened in Hollywood, or I don't even know where Euphoria is filmed. Like it could be even filmed in like Toronto or something. I don't know, but like anyway, let's just say it's filmed in Hollywood. Anyway, so like about his experiences like dealing with these corrupt Americans who like this like what is the experience of going from just like who he was in Australia, a teenager, like what he had on his mind in terms of his career, and then like suddenly in this situation. Like it would be a pretty interesting read, and I also feel that it would have some kind of like, I mean, maybe, I don't know if it has like NDA things going on, but I think you can still write an autobiography and sort of skirt around things, still tell your story without like getting into trouble in terms of a non-disclosure agreement. I feel like that would be something that would open the door to having the community support to shut down the psychopaths if it was like too extreme what's going on. So like let's say he wrote the book, even if it was just written in 2 hours on a lounge chair on the beach, just like, oh my god, like, and then just like ebook or whatever. I guess he's like a big enough guy that he can like have it published properly and whatever. But like, the stakes aren't that high with some books, like, Harlequin romances or whatever. Like, it's sort of like a more personal news story, but like in book form or something. And he can have like photos or, just make it personal. But I really feel like this is the way to like make the excuse for doing the rounds on the talk shows and stuff, bringing up the notion of like, directors gone wild or like producers gone wild, kind of like, where does it end? And like, what's too much to ask, especially of people who are like younger and stuff, or like people who are portraying teenagers, or like, you know what I mean? Like, the only way I feel like he'll get around being sort of quasi abused in the industry is please stop barking. Is to involve the community and just have the community like reject like certain standards of practice that are like occurring around him or like in general and stuff, because these are human beings, like these actors, like they want to be in quality stuff and like bring out their best talents and still leave their career like feeling human and respected and stuff. And so I feel like this is like an issue in his life right now where people are just really being abusive, and he's doing his best to like frame it in like art or his optimism about himself and his career and stuff like that. But like I really feel like the community needs to jump in and say like and defend him and the other actors or like actors like them moving forward, because there's a lot of like good community discussion about like shutting down psychopaths like Harvey Weinstein and like people who are in the industry who are like, you know, going too far. Come here. Do you want to give him a walk? Here. Okay. If you want to play, you have to give me your dolly. Go get your doll. Go get your doll. Anyway, this is oh my god, this is another case where something like that. Here, how about this? Go. The community needs to come in and go like, hold up, like if the actors are not cool with this, like let's listen to them because we care about them. Like we don't want them to be like, you know, 15 years from now dealing with like drug issues or relationship breakups due to like just being abused in their younger years by the industry and stuff. Like let's call an end to that. So I feel like that's like a huge issue right now. So like the recommendation I feel is for him to write like a little autobiography. I know he's still young, but like it would be cool to have, you know, a few books about his life, because I'm sure he's like interesting, done a lot of stuff that interests his fans and stuff, so like why not? You know, it's a bit like back when I was a kid, like people read like Tiger Beat and stuff, like magazines where stars would like talk about their lives or whatever. So it'd be like nice to have something on paper for the fans, or like ebook or whatever, or even like audiobook. Anyway, okay. So, because I really hope he can outsmart the industry in this way by like, because if he has a book and he can do the rounds of the talk shows, because he has something to push. Like they don't usually let you on a talk show unless your movie or your TV show or your book just came out, so like that would be a reason to get on there. And then he wouldn't seem like the angry guy, because it's not like, I'm coming on here to complain about, you know, like, it'll just sort of happen organically, because he'll, yeah, that, and maybe getting better defenders, whether it's an agent or entertainment lawyer, to go like, I don't think so. Maybe there's some other really well-known actor or director that has an amazing agent or lawyer that's like helped them just keep their career like on a track that they really want, instead of being just forced to go willy-nilly, you know. All right, what else is going on? Yeah, I feel like there's like, you know how like relationships, like people are good looking and stuff, but like deep down they might have like the soul of a dead person or something, like, or like hard lessons. So I feel like there's a bit of that, like where he's not really being met with like just a super love, like a high five, you know. So, and I think the key to that is like him really it's like the Oracle at Delphi's advice, like know thyself, like really, really fine tune like who you want to be, who you are, just like self-love, appreciation, knowing your like purpose in life, that you're like, God loves you, and like you're just so you that you're like, that makes it easier to find like a good match, instead of just like, hey, I'm just here, I just got here, like, like who else is here, like it makes it too random that way if you're just like um naive, naive to yourself. And I know that's hard to let to ask for someone like in their 20s or whatever, but because like I'm in my 50s and I feel like I've finally got it. Like, it took a while, so it's like, do your best, and some of that is like choosing to spend some time alone so that you're not just always like reflecting back at people what they're giving to you. It's not just like a constant tennis match of like, okay, what do I do with this ball? Like, like, because when you're alone, you have your own thoughts, your own intuition, you just kind of fill up your own cup kind of thing, and then you can go out in the world. But if you're always just like give, like, you kind of feel like half of yourself all the time. So, okay. So there's that. I feel like he has some people back home, or like companies or organizations, I don't know, like asking him for donations or his time or something, and he has to be very good at like boundaries so that he's still functioning like at his best in his own life. And if, let's say, that takes up all his energy taking care of himself, then maybe he doesn't have time or energy to give so much to others at this time, and to only give his time when he feels like doing it. Like, I'm sure he's aware of like what are good causes and etc., but like there's a certain amount of balancing yourself before you step back into the world that like is important to do, so you're not just like, I don't know, just like a tattered flag or something, but because he's young, like, and healthy and stuff, like he's able to kind of like survive in these situations. But I think for some people it would be like overwhelming, yeah. And I would like, I feel like he has like a tendency to dream and imagine and stuff, which is great. But I feel like some of those thoughts and inspirations are not grounded in reality. Like, he's not like making those things. Why are you barking at me? Come here. He's not like realizing those goals right now. Come here. Because he's like busy with whatever job he's doing. You want to come up? You just want to yell at me from the floor? Okay. So, here. Just like, so like, okay, where was I? Jacob. Okay, Jacob. Before the dog barked at me. Yeah, so, oh yeah, his imagination. So he needs to take the time, even 5 minutes a day, of like realizing like movies or ideas he has, like even in sketch form, so that he's making progress on his own purpose. Because I feel like moving forward, like 60% or slightly more of his work life will be independent projects that he does like with good funding and whatever. So he'll go from being an actor to like an actor and creator of stuff, like because he might be bright and like interested in being able to wrap his mind around like directing and producing and being a visionary and stuff. So if you take like a baby step forward, like the universe will walk towards you too on that. Like, you just need to take some steps instead of just going like, oh, that's an awesome idea, like, and just leaving it in outer space. Like he needs to realize some of those things, that they can be like the bridge that he walks over to having this awesome life. Because if he just leaves himself subject to like other people's projects, I get the impression that in Hollywood they'll just find 1,001 reasons to like undress you or like whatever. But there's like more interesting stories to tell, you know. And if he sees like an empty space, and sorry about that. I guess I'll wrap it up soon. Like, anyway, there's room for his contributions too, and he might like make some really cool movies or act in his own stuff. Dr. Disco, what are you barking at? Come here. This one was kind of. I don't want to give him my capo. I need to give him something to chase. Oh, this. Here, check this out. And okay, I'll just come up with one more thing. Yeah, I don't know if he has like his parents visiting a lot or whatever. I'm sure they're fine people. Like I feel like there's a good vibe between them, but there's a certain amount of like people overstaying, like over wanting of his time and energy. Maybe they're staying at his house, but it's like maybe he'd like to like be alone for a while, or so I don't know. There's something around privacy and like people in his space, or like staying over, or like there's something like that where it's just like they're nice, but it's just like too much. Like so like working on his boundaries, spending some time alone, not dating, so that like he can really refine like his own personality and like character and what's important to him. And this is not something that's done with like anyone else. These are all his own downloads about like that stuff and like what occurs to him. It's a very it's private work, so it's not like, oh, I spent 5 weeks with a counselor. No, like you're your own counselor, and it's just like a whatever pops into your head kind of thing. So like it's, you know, it's like grounding, like just that kind of thing. Yeah, and I just feel like people need to like kind of protect him, you know, like don't let, like if let's say he's in an interview situation and the interviewer's being like too prying, or like just go after that interviewer like in the comments, or just like really the community needs to protect him and back him up so that he doesn't have to do all the work. We don't need another like cool actor being the victim of the industry and stuff. So it's up to you guys to like stand up for him and his rights to like have the career he wants and stuff like that. So that's my reading about him. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to comment, I read those and I appreciate them. If you subscribe or like that's cool too. And if you want to donate, that's cool too. All that information is in the box. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.